guess.
Okay, here's my 3 people. Okay, how do I flip it without stopping it? I don't know, I can't figure out how to flip it without stopping it. I guess it doesn't matter, you don't need to flip it, it's on me now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so originally this speech was written for a classroom full of people who were about to give a speech, so it might sound a little funky here and there to you guys. So originally I was gonna say, I bet that there's a lot of anxiety going around the classroom waiting for your turn to come up and speak about whatever you're gonna speak about. And some people have that feeling that you have right now in your stomach where you're nervous and you're anxious and you don't wanna do it all the time, just regardless of what's happening in their life, not just when they're giving speeches, but all the time. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about anxiety. I'm going to talk about the importance of it, how to recognize it, and I haven't found the all-time cure, but little ways to soothe or help or find ease in your life. So that's going to be my main thing. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what is it? There's different disorders that are associated with anxiety. The one that I was most surprised about when I did my research was PTSD is actually a form of anxiety, which I didn't know. So that's one of the forms. OCD is a form of anxiety. There's generalized anxiety, which is what I have. Let's see, there's one more. Oh, and social anxiety. So when you're in a social setting, you kind of freak out and you start to feel that way, which all of them make sense if I think about it. I just didn't realize that there were so many different compartments of anxiety. So, and all of those can show in different symptoms. I mean, for PTSD, it's common to have flashbacks in the form of nightmares or sweats or sleepwalking. I mean, that kind of has its own set of symptoms. Generalized anxiety, it's different for everyone. You also have your own set of symptoms. One of my main symptoms is stomach. My stomach starts to hurt. I don't feel good. For some people, they can't breathe. Like they can't breathe and they start hyperventilating, which eventually can lead to pass out. Panic attacks. I mean, sweating. All sorts of different symptoms can come from this feeling of anxiety. So that being said, like this can lead to other issues. A lot of the times anxiety and other issues will tie into each other. The most common one that I found with my research is depression. Usually they go hand in hand. If you have really bad anxiety, you're most prone to have depression as well. So they kind of coincide. So in my experience, I have recognized my anxiety before it's turned into depression, and I think that's part of helping stop that cycle. But it's important to notice, which is kind of where I'm going with this, why does it matter, who cares, so what? It's important to recognize it in other people. So there was actually a case, AT&T fired one of their employees because they had a logistical reason, but because they weren't reliable or something like that. Well, the employee was severely depressed. And so when he would show up to work, if he showed up to work, he was just not there. He was in another land, and so he sued them. He sued AT&T because he thought he was being fired because he was depressed, and he lost the case. AT&T won. I mean, I'm sure they had some backdoor reason of why it was okay, but I mean, my point is that it can go so far to affect where you lose your job, or you lose a relationship, or you lose, I mean, your grades go down the toilet. I mean, it can affect you in more ways than just, oh, my stomach hurts. And recognizing that in other people at work or at school or wherever you're with and trying to help that, or recognizing it in yourself. A lot of people have anxiety and don't realize it. They just kind of brush it off and they're like, I just don't feel good, just kind of stressed. A lot of times people just recognize it as stress. I'm just stressed. I'm fine. I'll be fine. And then it kind of leads down that dark path. So that's one of the things that I was hoping to get across, is that by educating, that hopefully it's able to be recognized more often. And it's kind of brushed under the rug. I feel like people who do have anxiety don't really come out and just say, oh yeah, I'm having a bad day because I'm having anxiety. It's like, oh, it's okay, I'm just stressed, or I'm that. Like, it's not a comfortable topic to talk about for most people. So I was hoping to kind of get it out in the air too. So some ways that I've found to soothe, like I said, I haven't really found a cure or ways to just make it go away. But some of the things that WebMD said to do and that I've found is helpful is to breathe. I feel like a lot of the times I forget to just breathe, the simplest thing. But it does really help to take a deep breath in and out, and a couple even, to just kind of get your system flowing again. To go out and do something, so you're not just sitting here thinking about things and just letting your mind turn to go out and work out, which gives you happy endorphins in your body, or to, even just go for a walk or go grocery shopping, or just to do something to get your mind off whatever you're stressing about. To talk to someone, whether it's just like if you're stressing about one particular thing, asking a second opinion, talking to a therapist about if you have deeper issues than that, talking to someone can be a huge help. And another thing is taking away technology that I found has helped me, which is the hardest thing to do. I'm not very good at it, but just taking breaks. Like when I go, if I go to get a massage, I turn that phone off for an hour, and it's sad that it takes me to have to go somewhere where phones aren't allowed to do it, but that hour is super relaxing. So I'd like to do that more in my life, and that is helpful, to just kind of shut off the world and be okay with just being by yourself. But that's taken me a while to get used to. It's hard to just shut everything off and be okay with it. So those are some of the things that I've found that helps me. And I guess in conclusion, that's just what I wanted to get across. Oh, wait, I have my visual aids. So our bodies are naturally lacking a lot of nutrients and vitamins and all sorts of stuff. So some natural things that I found that help if I take daily are vitamin D. And living in Oregon, it's common that people are lacking that. 5-HTP is what it's called. It's an amino acid in your body that's naturally produced, and most people are deficient in it. But taking this, it doesn't zombie you out or anything. It just kind of levels out hormones, and I found that this helps too. It literally says on the package, mood and stress promotes a calm and relaxed mood. So, and none of these are drugs. It's all stuff that your body naturally produces that most people are just deficient in. Another thing is magnesium. That's something that we're usually deficient in. And I have no idea the scientific reason why this helps, honestly, but it has helped. So you do 15 sprays every day. So I do it on my stomach because it's like a big absorber. I get out of the shower and I do it on my stomach and my arms, and then it just absorbs in, and it's helped me. One of the person who recommended this to me had daily panic attacks, and since she's been using this, she hasn't had one.
Wow.
So, and she doesn't use those, well, she does vitamin D, but she doesn't do the other thing. She just does this and the vitamin D, and it works for her. So those are my
do you want to show those to the camera?
Yes, I'm sorry, I wasn't very good
okay.
at that. There we go. And I can actually go closer and then just put them over here.
Yeah, I was zooming.
But yeah, so those are my natural things. But I've heard people who have had great success with medications, and I've even heard people who have had great success with CBD oil and different things like that they've tried. I'm trying to go the more natural route first before I escalate, but so far those have been helping. And yeah, so basically, like I said, the reason for this was hopefully to educate it, to get it out in the air. Now, if you do either yourself or know someone who has anxiety, at least there's a couple of things maybe that you learned in order to help them or yourself. But yeah, that's it. Sure, you can applaud. Yes, I'll do it.